delivery screwed up. So you won't be able to read the book. So is delivery important? I'd say yes. Okay. What else? 3 ingredients into your presentation. Any other questions? No? Yes?
You
Yes.
didn't talk about the goals of the presentation of the particular speech, maybe. So what about the goals of how to deliver? You must have some in mind in which purpose you deliver in the speech. I think this was one of the most important things. So you didn't just tell about this.
Okay. Question was, what about the goal of your presentation? You have to have a goal, you have to have a purpose to deliver a presentation.
A message.
A message. All of it is important. I would say you start your presentation with this in mind. You start your presentation with this in mind. You start your presentation with who you're doing it for. What are you doing? What do you want your audience to feel, think, and do after your presentation? Think about what you want them to do 3 days after your presentation. The reason, the purpose of your message. If you know that, then you will pick a presentation like inspiring. It's all in Toastmasters manual. It can be inspiring, it can be entertaining, it can be persuasive, and so forth. However, no presentation has one thing. It has all of them. Informational presentation. It must be inspiring. It must be entertaining. Otherwise people will fall asleep. It must be persuasive. You have to persuade them to listen to your message. So all these elements are in every one of our presentations. It may be just a different accent, just a different, how to say it, a different, different accent, but different, but you can different concentration. You concentrate a little bit more on one of the aspects, but you incorporate all of them into your presentation anyway. Okay. So we discussed how to involve your audience, how to own the stage, how to use your vocal variety. I mentioned pauses. One of the underused and underutilized vocal varieties is a pause. Okay? And I'm saying it because speakers are afraid of pause. We're afraid of silence. We're afraid of silence. We think that we have to talk all the time. All the time. Otherwise people are bored and they will stop listening. No. They'll stop listening if we talk all the time. Properly used pause can be very powerful. When do we use them? When we deliver a message. When we deliver an idea. When we deliver a thought. One more thing. Every Toastmasters know about it. Eye contact. In every evaluation we say, not enough eye contact. Oh, good eye contact. Don't look down. Look up. Look at your audience. A lot of people are afraid of eye contact. I heard all these different techniques. Like for example, I said, one of them said, don't look in people's eyes, look them in here, in somewhere between the eyes. Yeah, like here, third eye.
Here.
Oh yeah, here. Or like, if I'm looking there, nobody knows where I'm looking anyway. So I can be looking at Tatiana, who's your... I can be looking at Tatiana or anybody else, doesn't matter. I completely, utterly disagree. Never look here. Because people know where you're looking. Look in people's eyes. Make eye contact. Number of reasons. Again, as I said, everybody knows about eye contact. I have a special relationship with this. I have a special idea. My thoughts. Number one, when I'm talking to an audience, I don't do public speaking. I never speak in public. I do one-on-one conversations, one person at a time. If I'm looking at you, I'm talking to you only. If I'm looking at you, I'm talking to you only. Just for this 3-5 seconds, I'm talking to that person only, nobody else. Number one, nobody's afraid of one-on-one conversations, right? Nobody's afraid of one-on-one conversations. When we talk one-on-one, it's always good, we're always calm, we're always comfortable. So that's what I do. I talk one-on-one. I'm having conversations, one person at a time. Number two, when we connect with our eyes, it's emotional connection. It's not logical, it's emotional. Number three, if I'm not afraid to look into your eyes, it means that I am telling the truth, what I believe, what I think. It builds trustworthiness or trust between two people. So use eye contact. Now, in a room like this, it's easy. It's a small room, we're all together, it's easy to make eye contact. What if you have room 3 times that size, 4 times that size? Do you concentrate on row number 1, number 2? No. You concentrate on entire room. You break the room into quadrants, like into parts. And you concentrate on one part, next part, next part, next part. Don't go in circle. Don't go in circles, please. Do it sporadically, like this, here, there, and don't go like this. It's destructive. Okay, and people see it. Now, when you get a technique, when you use a technique, don't use it all the time. Use it sporadically, because when you start using the same technique over and over again, people realize it's a technique. It takes away from your speech. Okay? Like moving on stage all the time. You're building timeline when you don't need to build it. There is no reason to build any timelines right now. Why am I moving? Oh, because it's technique, and I know. No good. Okay? So that's another thing. What else? Questions?
Okay, you talked about quadrants, yeah?
Yes.
And you also mentioned that actually I'm talking to one person, yeah? So what about a huge audience? You're talking to one quadrant or how?
What if we have the huge audience, like I said, and I'm dividing room into 4 parts or 6 parts? I am talking to people in this location, but I'm still talking to one person. I will make eye contact with one person. It doesn't matter which person, because everybody thinks that I'm talking to them. If it's a large room, if I'm looking this way, everybody thinks that I'm looking to them person. But I'm looking at one person anyway, at a time. One person at a time. Questions and answers. It's important to have questions and answers. I prefer to have questions during the presentation. Normally I don't leave time for questions and answers. I like questions coming in all the time. This way we interact, this way we communicate, this way we're talking to each other. However, sometimes you have to have a lot of time for questions